What's going on, YouTube? It's a pleasure to be here this evening. I am so happy that you have tuned in. And today's message is ultimately just one that I feel could really benefit all of you. And it's a mindset that I've been trying to adapt within 2025 this year, because I noticed that I was lacking in this field and in this manner. And I noticed that I needed to make an adjustment in my life. And I can assure all of you that when I made that adjustment, I realized very quickly that with consistency and with a persistent nature, I was able to achieve a lot more things. I was able to acquire a lot more of my goals. And as a result, just became a lot more happy. So the whole idea is handling the small disciplines in life. And that may sound very boring to a lot of people, but if you stick with me, I promise you, you'll gain something from this video and you will walk away with something that will help and benefit your life in ways you probably never even imagined. So we go through life and we have many different things that we have to partake in, whether that be dropping our kids off at school, working out our business, working on schoolwork, working at our work, 9 to 5, so on and so forth. There are different disciplines and different tasks that we have to partake in a day's time that are bigger than others, right? Or are perceived as bigger than others, right? But I want you to perceive it in a different way. And I want you to understand that all disciplines in life are important. And it's not that one is more important than the other, right? There are tasks and there are disciplines that of course vary in the amount of energy and effort that are needed to be put into it in order to ultimately accomplish it. But that's not the point. The point here is the fact that the small disciplines matter just as much as the big ones. And how you do one thing is how you do everything. And that's a quote that I want to say one more time, because it sometimes goes over people's heads. And it went over my head for a lot of the years that I've been on this planet. And until I realized that I need to actually internalize that idea and conceptualize it within my brain was when I started to see more success. And I'll say it one more time. How you handle one thing is how you handle everything. And so we, once again, have small things. We have large things that we need to finish in a day's time. And if we're not putting the same effort and we're not putting the same emphasis on every single task, well, that will bleed into your larger tasks. So what do I mean by that, right? Look at the areas in your life that you obviously have been neglecting because you've been putting off due to the fact that you've been telling yourself it's not important, due to the fact that you've been telling yourself, oh, I'll get to it later. Well, that's procrastination. And that's one of the main killers of being able to do things efficiently, because procrastination comes from fear and it also comes from laziness. It also comes from just a knowingness that you don't want to do the thing because you perceive it as to be less important, and so you don't do it. Yet the reality is that once you start to habitualize that habit and you actually start to do it, it doesn't just affect the small things, it starts to eventually affect the larger things. So what do I mean by that, right? If you're a guy that doesn't clean his room, or if you're a girl that doesn't clean a room, well, understand if you have a business, eventually you're not going to clean up the things that are needed in that business just as much as you wouldn't clean up your room. And that is just how human beings work. We habitualize things, and as we compound that over time, it will bleed into other areas in our life. And so once again, how you do one thing is how you do everything. How you clean your room is how you take care of your business. How you treat people is how you run your business. You have to understand that these things all correlate within each other and that one is not different than the other. And so there's this quote that I want to leave you with here, and I want you to ponder upon, that says, handle the few so you can handle the many. And it's as simple as it sounds, but people once again tend to overlook it. People tend to allow it to go over their head. And that's a big mistake. And that's a mistake that I made. I started to realize very quickly that there were areas in my life that I was neglecting, and as a result show up in other areas of my life that I actually perceived as important. My business, this, that, like everything, my relationships, it was just a downward spiraling effect because I wasn't taking care of the small things. I wasn't handling the small disciplines. And as a result, I believe, right, with my faith and my religion and my belief in life, that God realized very quickly that if I can't handle the small disciplines, why would he give me the large ones, right? If you had a kid, for example, right, and you gave them a toy, and he took that toy and he was upset about it, right? You gave that toy out of love, out of compassion for that child, out of just sheer gratitude for that being in your life, right? And you gave them that toy and they showed complete disrespect. They started to whine, they started to cry that it wasn't their favorite color, they started to get upset, whatever, right? And then they start throwing it around, they push down kids, they say, no, you can't have my toy, and they treat it like crap. Well, what are you gonna do next time that kid asks for a toy? You're probably, hopefully, not gonna give him a damn toy. But if you have another individual, another child that you give a toy to, and they're very thankful, they appreciate it, they take care of it, they share it, they give it to people, they allow other people to play with it, right? And then when it's all said and done, they put it away nicely. What are you going to do next time that kid asks for a toy? You're going to give that kid a toy. And so I want you to take that analogy and put it and place it within the idea of God, the universe, so on and so forth, whatever. Even if you're not woo-woo-y, you have to know deep down in your soul that there's something, a substance, a source of why you have had the blessings that you've had in your life. And so how I perceive it on a daily basis is that if I wish to have the great things in life, if I wish to have the abundance that I am striving for every single day, I have to take care of the small disciplines. And if I don't do that, as a direct result, that neglect will follow me. It'll follow me entirely. And it won't allow me to perform at my best capability in other areas of life as well. And so you all need to really get this idea down. You're not getting closer to your goals, or you're not achieving your goals, period, because of this. This is a huge reason why people don't achieve their goals, is because they neglect the areas that matter in their life. And nothing doesn't matter. There is millions of things that actually do matter, that actually have a play in your business, in your schoolwork, in this, in that, in your job, whatever, that you wouldn't even at first think it does. But I promise you it does. Your environment, is it clean? Is it conducive to allow you to work? Is it conducive to allow you to do the things that you actually value, that you actually care about, right? Are you eating correctly? Are you eating well? Are you working out? Are you going to sleep on time? Are you taking care of yourself? Are you speaking nicely to people? There's so many things that we neglect and we don't think matter. But why do you think you're not achieving your goals? It's very simple. Once you break it down and once you realize this, you'll realize that it's because you're neglecting the areas that you don't think matter, but they do. So what do we do here, right? What's the goal? What's the ultimate way that we can solve this? Well, it's simply just reframing your perspective on the world. Start to take things more seriously, and not seriously to the degree where you're stressing out over it. You can care and not care at all in this life. And that's what I recommend all of you to do. And I want to say that again. You can care and not care at all in life. And what I mean by that is that you can be indifferent when shit goes sideways, and you have no choice. You have no control over it. It's okay. But if you have control over it, and you have at least a little bit of power to be able to push it in your direction that you actually want it to go, well, then I promise you, you should do it. You should care about it. Because if it adds benefit to your life, why wouldn't you? Reframe your perspective. And to start taking the small disciplines as of importance. Start to take them as important as you would the number one thing that's most important in your life. And I promise you, if you do what I'm telling you, and you focus on the small disciplines just as much as you focus on the large, you will achieve your goals, you will fucking kill it in life, and you'll refer back to this video thanking me when you actually do it. So I just want to leave you guys with that note. I hope it added some value. It's a little quick video today, little rant, but my whole goal on this channel is to render service to you, to provide service to you, and to know that I ultimately am doing my justice on this earth to try to provide something for you, and to let you know that I struggle just as much as you. I suffer just as much as you. I go through shit just as much as you, and that's okay. We're all in this together. We're all learning, and we're all on the journey, and that's what life is about. And if you can pick up something from this video, I promise you, your life will be better. So God bless all of you. Have a great night. Take care. See ya.